It's a bit hard to believe we're already into the first week of 2023, and certainly today is the full moon in Cancer, so lots of emotions. And I can see from people in our community certainly have been going through a big roller coaster of emotions. But what other people have been experiencing is a feeling of something new is about to shift in. Like it feels like you've made a quantum leap in your consciousness. Something is moving and shifting through you. And the only way to really understand what that looks like for you is to spend some quiet time with yourself. And if you can do that in nature, it's even more beneficial. But before we move into 2023, we have to look back at our recent past, and especially what's happened in the world over the last 3 years, and look how the external events have called upon you to step into your authenticity and to really start working from your heart and not your head, to make you stand up. And sometimes for us, it's a matter of calling on our inner resilience or courage. And certainly realizing that the external world does not drive us. And in fact, where we need to listen from is from our inner guidance and our intuition, of course. But when we look back in the last 2 years and see what's happened and who we've become of that, when we step into a new year, we need to do it from a whole new platform. So there's no point of dragging the past into this year. And so it takes a time to sit and look at you and who you are, your connection to the Creator, the connection to yourself. How are you going to do this year differently? And so instead of just automatically starting the year and doing what you normally do, I'm going to suggest you take some time and grab a piece of paper and sit down and ask yourself some very poignant questions. And these are some of the questions I'm going to go through in our upcoming E=VS New Academy, New Earth Academy of Eternity classes. We're going to start off and really looking at the platform that we're going to lay the foundations for in this coming year. And so the first place to start is you. And the question to ask yourself, or the questions to ask yourself, is what's really important for me to discover for myself this year? Now, I took everybody through the end of last year through a solstice meditation where we went to the temple of our soul and got our word for the year. And it's interesting, my word came very quickly and a bit unexpectedly, but the word was sacred. And I'm thinking, oh, that's an interesting, because last year, the previous year was celebration, so sacred. And then I looked and had a look and saw that this year, the end of this year, 2023, it's up to 7, and 7 is a spiritual number and certainly the power of love. And so I can understand why the word sacred came through, that I had to look at how I treat myself in a sacred way and certainly connect more with the inner me and not the outer me projection that people see, and really bring that through a lot more. And so the first thing it is to start off with your physical body. So how, for me, am I going to treat my body in a sacred way? And even if your word wasn't sacred for the year, you need your body so you can experience the physical world. So a lot of people at the moment are going through things like having health issues. And there's no point running around trying to get people to fix your health issues if you don't take control of it in some way. So it starts with you. What are you doing physically to your body? What are you doing mentally? What are your thoughts? Because every cell in your body is listening to your thoughts, consciously and unconsciously. So where are you putting your thinking? How can you change your thinking perhaps to how you've done it before? What is it that you'd like to happen in 2023 for you? And ask yourself what sort of support or foundation or resources that you need to help you move through that. As you start to have a look at how you're going to be in 2023, then what is it that you want to bring through you into the world? What do you want to experience in the world? And then as you start to resonate at a whole new frequency, then you give permission to others to start to step into their authenticity, to step into this new frequency. Now, in the outer world, it'll tell you there's a lot of gloom and doom. Certainly, the mainstream media will give you certain narratives, but it's important to really listen to your inner guidance, because that's outer world is programming your consciousness to in a whole one direction, and you need to step out of that narrative and then step into your inner narrative. What is it that you're wanting to experience? And so I'll give you a very good example. Yesterday, I was driving out to see a friend, and I was with another person in our community, a gorgeous woman. And while we're out there, had the real strong intuitive feeling to go and knock and catch up with my grandkids. And I thought, oh no, I've got my friend in the car. I need to drop her home first. So it was another 50 minutes to drop her home. But the feeling was so strong. And the moment I let her out of the car, and I got a phone call from my eldest grandson who said, oh, what are you doing today? I'd love to hang out. So I had to drive an hour back. So, we're always getting this intuition. And that was just a very strong message that I needed to listen to that, because he really needed to spend some time with me. So this is where you have to start doing things in a new way. And so that was a great reminder to myself, is to really listen to my own intuition and not get caught up by outside world events. So we're going to deep dive a little bit more into that before we start laying any more foundations of Grabovoi's knowledge on top of that. Really look at our perception and our experience of how seeing the world, really diving into the fact that our mind is a prism. What does that mean? And certainly then we can lay the foundations for really stepping into something new. I know there's some people that come into our New Earth Academy of Eternity that haven't really had the foundations before, and this, but still a perfect way to understand that your soul is guiding you there. The knowledge of Grigori Grabovoi finds people. You don't find it. And I've had over 11 years experience of seeing this happen to people all over the world. So I don't know how I found you, but I found you, and then this lays a great foundation, and we welcome everybody into the community. So, welcome to 2023. Your soul, the earth, humanity are calling on you to do things in a totally new way. And what is it for you that you're going to do differently, so that you're not dragging the past into now and projecting it into the future? Bye for now, everybody, and I'll catch you again with another message.